The NBA season has been absolutely awesome to start the season. Fun teams, close games, a bunch of interesting players in new situations, and all that good stuff. And let me just emphasize again, the games have been absolutely incredible and competitive. There's just so much good basketball going on right now. And I wanted to talk about some of the new offseason additions and how they've played so far. You know, they've played a small sample, but they've played a good number of games so far. And there are just some offseason moves that I see right now that I think are immediately paying dividends and are going to continue to pay dividends down the road. So I'm going to list off 5 players that are performing well for their new teams. And look, it's only going to be 5. I'm probably going to go a minute tops on each one, but there's a lot of players who have been added to new teams and are paying dividends. That doesn't mean that I don't like them or don't think they're not playing well if I don't list one, so sorry if I missed that, but I'm just going to go with 5 that come off the top of my head, so let's get right to it. Grant Williams has immediately paid dividends for the Dallas Mavericks. I loved this move the moment it happened. It was a sign-and trade, which seems to be the trend now lately in off seasons, but 4 years, $52 million, and that move is paying off big time so far for the Mavericks. He's averaging 15 points a game, nearly 4.5 rebounds per game. And look, he's not going to continue to shoot 54% from 3, but with the looks he continues to get off of Luka and Kyrie Irving, I just don't see how he's not going to finish the season in the 40s shooting from 3. He's getting great looks in the corner, at the top of the key, and not only that, we all know his versatility defensively. He can defend bigs, he can defend bigger wings, he's a nuisance when he gets into the paint because he's huge, and at 6'6", he's just thick at 6'6". It's just a great move for the Mavericks. And look, the Mavericks aren't really that much of a tire fire on defense like they were last year post-Kyrie trade. And Grant Williams, along with Derrick Jones Jr. and Derek Lively, has helped with that, and Josh Green as well. And when you look at their fourth quarter defense, this is small sample size theater, but the Mavericks are top 10 in defensive rating in the fourth quarter. And look, before the season, I had the Mavs in the play-in tier, but I definitely underestimated just how solid of a team they put around Luka and Kyrie, and Grant Williams is a big part of that. He has been an A-plus signing so far for the Mavericks. This one might come as an annoyance to people who don't like Dillon Brooks, but Dillon Brooks has been awesome for the Houston Rockets so far. Is he going to continue to shoot 56% from 3? No, but we all know Dillon Brooks is an all-NBA defense level type of player, and he's getting good looks from 3. He's shooting nearly 60% from the field, but he's just providing the two-way play that the Rockets have sought after. And look, it again, 7 games into the season, but per Cleaning the Glass, the Rockets are top 10 in defense. They're 9th in defensive rating, and Dillon Brooks is a huge part of why that is the case. Look, Dillon Brooks was a fine signing to me when that signing happened. I did a video about the Houston Rockets free agency over the summer, and I thought they actually had a solid offseason, no crippling contracts that will affect their big-term picture. But Dillon Brooks have 4 years and $80 million. That's really good. And look, for all of his annoyances, his shit-talking and all that stuff, that dude has an edge for a team that pretty much needed a bunch of edgy players and attitude to play the type of defensive style that Ime Udoka wants to play. And so far, 16 points a game, over 4.5 rebounds per game, on nearly 60% shooting from the field. I'd say that signing is working out well so far for the Rockets. The shooting numbers might go down, but he's still going to provide effective two-way play for this team as the season goes on. This signing I was dead wrong about immediately, and the Sixers struck gold signing Kelly Oubre to the minimum. And look, I don't know why I didn't take that into account, that, look, it's the minimum. If he didn't work out, the Sixers could have just cut him. But Kelly Oubre has been amazing for the Sixers. And it's not just the scoring, because he's shooting 51% from the field and nearly 42% from 3 and averaging 18 points per game. Don't know how long that's going to last. He's definitely hot and cold. He has some games where he's hasn't made a 3, but some games he'll make 5 threes. But the defense, the hustle, the transition play, it's really crazy to say that Kelly Oubre is one of the most athletic wings I have seen on the Sixers in the Joel Embiid era. That just goes to show some of the personnel decisions that the GMs post-Hinkie have made during the Embiid era. But Kelly Oubre has been awesome for the Sixers. He's starting now. Kelly Oubre has been awesome, and I think he should continue to start as long as he is just providing awesome two-way play, awesome downhill attacking in transition, and just shoot whenever you're open. And look, he's had a few shots where he's had to force it up because he's getting grenades at the end of the shot clock, but Kelly Oubre has been awesome. I've been dead wrong on this signing for basically the first game of the season. I was dead wrong on it. Next guy I wanted to talk about is Dennis Schroder, who has been awesome for the Toronto Raptors so far, averaging 16 points a game, nearly 17 points a game, shooting 42% from 3 on over 5 attempts per game, and on the other end, of course, he's providing point-of-attack defense with his size, his long wingspan, and he's just somebody who's really fast, can push the pace, and the Raptors, Lord knows they need some guards that can get the ball up the court because so far, small sample size again, but their half-court offense is somehow worse on a points per possession basis than last year per Cleaning the Glass. Some of the saving graces for the Raptors that Raptor fans can like is they have a coach who is very innovative, it seems like, and also Scotty Barnes is just taking this leap that is very scary, honestly. It's scary how good Scotty Barnes has been, but Dennis Schroder has been an awesome pickup for the Raptors, averaging nearly 9 assists per game as well, providing the playmaking. I don't know how long the three-point shooting is going to stay above 40% just given his career numbers, but Dennis Schroeder's playing with confidence, provides a much-needed swagger, and look, he has helped along with Scotty Barnes in his versatility and sort of changing his defensive role a little bit. The Raptors are a top 10 defense, so it is kind of making up for their very shitty offense and offensive rating and half-court offense, but Dennis Schroder has been an awesome pickup for the Raptors. And then the final guy I wanted to bring up is Kristaps Porzingis, and this was someone that I did a video on over the summer. I thought the trade was fascinating. It was a high gamble, and that gamble is paying off, and it's going to pay off as the season goes on because this is kind of the perfect cap to the roster that the Celtics have. Porzingis is in a very optimized role. He's the fourth option on the team, basically, outside of Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, of course, and just a tall 7'3" guy that could shoot threes from very deep range, a quick trigger three, by the way, and the Celtics haven't had a big like that could shoot that quickly with no hesitation, attack a closeout, can post up on a mismatch, and is just a lob threat. And on the other end, he does what he does best, which is protect the rim. And he has helped out the decision-making of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, kind of condensed it a little bit because Kristaps Porzingis is a great outlet as well. He's helped out everybody on the roster, and that move is just paying off big time for the Celtics. Before the Celtics lost to the Timberwolves last night, the Celtics had by far the best offensive rating in the NBA. And obviously now with that defensive performance by the Timberwolves, the Celtics offense is back down to a measly third with still a 120 offensive rating. But Kristaps Porzingis averaging nearly 20 points a game on 55% shooting, nearly 43% from 3 on nearly 5 attempts per game. Just a masterclass trade by Brad Stevens, and just somebody that can put a cherry on top to a roster that is now built in Joe Mazzulla's vision, now that Joe Mazzulla had time to put together a staff over the summer and prepare properly, and Kristaps Porzingis was the cherry on top. And it was a great move by the Celtics because the Celtics look like a death machine on offense right now.